I reached out to you, Imani, not too long ago, just from I was, mentioning the flex, just from having Sharmeka on about 3 months ago, and her mentioning to me, before even her mentioning it, just seeing her social media and seeing the way she was carrying herself, seeing the content she was putting out, and seeing how it used to be and how it is now, and not knowing that she was even, being represented by a modeling agency. You just see that professionalism, and then you spend time looking at other models and I did a little research prior to Sharmeka coming on to kind of promote that episode and everything. And you guys are doing some awesome work, honestly. I mean, I was spending some time looking, and you can tell that the attention to detail, and it's very exciting and inspiring.
Sharmeka makes it so easy.
She really does.
Makes it easy. She makes it easy.
Let me tell you a little bit about Meg, okay?
Yeah.
Meg and I were speaking for some time originally when we were discussing like just model questions, like on my general inbox, on the Real Imani Kroom. And for a month, like for a couple months, we were going back and forth. She wasn't signed to the agency, but she was, sorry, not agency, because we're not an agency, and I'll tell you a little bit about that later.
Please.
But she signed to the company before she signed to the company, and she was just expressing interest, like, I really want to take this seriously, but I'm a counselor, etc. And I was like, well, when you're ready, just let me know. And when she finally did our, in the middle of the pandemic, what do? We did
like a 3-week
modeling program. And we did it completely free. We trained over 1,000 girls in the course of like 6 months.
It was a 3-week session where basically we brought on any type of model, any type of persistent, any area that you was, meaning like if any figure you were, meaning if you were a big model, if you were as far as going into the slim fit model, if you was a light skin, dark skin, if you felt like as far as like this wasn't your time to get in, if you felt like, man, I always tried to get in. We set up a 3-week course where basically we went with classes, going through posing, going through runway, going through
a lot of different things. Posing, runway, dance, fitness was a major thing. We did kickboxing, and she really did well. She made a lot of good friends in there, as you may see on her Instagram page. Anna, Jackie, she has like a lot of friends that she put in her community as well, her modeling community. And now this is more part of her lifestyle, more than it ever was. So it's really cool to see.
That's quite incredible. I mean, so 3-week program, around 1,000 models that you guys trained. So how did that look, and what kind of gave you guys the idea to do something like that? Because I love the sound of that.
So
it was hectic.
Pretty much we had to decide if we were going to fail with the pandemic, or if we were going to make it a pandemic.
We'll do a little run through before.
So let me give you the run through before. When we first started this company, I'm Next, it was last year, January. This year, January. Last year. No, this year. It was this year, January. And pretty much we just started before the pandemic came, and we had to all of a sudden stop. And we had such a powerful start that it was like, we can't just drop the ball now, because if we drop the ball, that's it. This could be like our chance that's just going to go. Yeah. So we went to the digital side of things, because we are very, very tech savvy. We do manage a lot of our girls' Instagrams, as Meg probably told you as well. And we said, you know what? There's so many castings going on right now. We're seeing all these online castings and online shows, like live. Everybody was doing lives. Like every single day, there was another live event. We said, we don't want to just touch the surface and have a live event. We actually want to impact people in this time. Like, actually, what do they need? Like we were trying to become problem solvers. Like, what do people need right now in this industry?
Because you have to think about it. During this time, and it's the fresh as far as like during the pandemic. The pandemic just started. So it's like, man, you can't shoot no more. You can't as far as go to locations because everybody's closed. So it's very limited. As far as casting gigs, nobody is really trying to shoot. Nobody is really trying to work. So at this point, it's a complete standstill.
Yeah, nobody was doing anything.
So if you're at a complete standstill, you could never move. So at this point in moment, I felt like, we felt that you have to stay active. You have to find a way to stay active.
Yeah.
So how can we stay active while growing at the same time, rather than falling off? So we was like, okay, we can design a 3-week program, because at this point in time, no one was giving anything free out as far as through free gigs. You go to every gig, you'll see as far every company, you'll see that they're charging $900 for 3 hours. You'll see they're charging, their rates is absolutely absurd.
Wow.
So he's like, okay, to total kill the market, we'll charge it just for free. And it'll help as far as the models. It'll help all the models as far as during that moment, just to not stand still, just to be active during that moment. So we designed challenges as far as, you can go with some challenges.
Yeah, so pretty much what the program looked like, it was fitness. We met 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, between the hours of 7 and 8, or 8 to 9, I believe. And then we doubled up on classes the next time we did it, the following month. It started to have to do evening classes and morning classes. That's how many inquiries we had. We had people in the United States, so domestically. We had people outside, so internationally as well. We had Costa Rica, Barbados, Germany, the Netherlands. We had Africa. We had Australia. There were so many different, Puerto Rico. There was a lot of different people that were, Puerto Rico, don't put that in there. There were a lot of different people that were in our program. And the fitness, it was so intense. You know, we wanted to make a point that if you make this a part of your lifestyle, if you make time for it. Everybody said, you know, we have school, we have work, we have this, we have that. I said, look, don't miss a class. Make sure you're on time. Be prepared, be ready. Because if you do this for 30 days straight, I promise you, when you leave here, you're not going to be the same person that you were when you came in. We held a numerous amount of seminars, teaching them everything for free that my colleagues right now are charging like $69.99 a class for, teaching them how to manage and create margins and negotiate on Instagram and so many different things. So it was really cool.
Yeah, it was fun. That was a fun experience.
I got to jump in. This is extremely, I'm excited to have you guys on to hear about, you know, a plan like that you used the word pandemic. You said, first of all, that's breathtaking that you guys started at the top of this year, because honestly, I didn't know when you started, but I will say that looking at where you're at right now, I mean, obviously a lot of work had to go into getting you to where you are, but to be where you're at right now, just from the look of it, from the sound of it, and just that's extraordinary. And I know that you guys are.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's a lot of planning and button heads.
I'm
it's
sure.
Definitely a lot of work. Okay,
Yeah.
I was not gonna let this company fail. I have a lot of competitors. There were a lot of people that I've worked for in the past. There's a lot of things that I needed to prove to not only myself, but to the world, period, that Amani is not small time. Shondell is not. These people are leveling up. We've tapped into so many people's lives, impacted so many people, whether they have joined this program or not. And they literally just feel so connected. It's what the industry is missing. It's missing connection. It's missing that humanized effect. You know, business is business, definitely. Because it does get spicy sometimes.
But we're very family oriented.
Like
everybody, like we pretty much basically speak to our models every single day. We're very personalized for them. So for any problem that they have, they'll give us a call. They pretty much give Amani a call all the time. But like, oh man, blah, 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 blah.
We're really involved. This is, if I sat here and told you everything that we did, we'll be here all night. Because it's so involved. I've worked for agencies. I have done a lot of fashion show production, which is where we come from. That's our origin. Producing fashion shows and events such as, the Knot Bridal Week. You know, we help manage their domestic and international locations. We did New York Fashion Week shows. We've produced our own shows. So there's a lot of things that we have been in, film, music videos, and we just came together and said, how do we take all of our talent and all of our knowledge and make it most useful to where it's impacting more people at a quicker rate and helping them, not just hands off. Some people do modeling gigs every 3 months, every month. They might have gigs every week, but they don't have a community. There's no one that they can call besides someone they probably networked with, like myself when I was younger, 15 years in the industry, and building a relationship like, hey, this happened to me. Has this ever happened to you? Like, it's like you have to build that rapport with people to get in to actually learn things. You know, you have to actually communicate. And now with the digital life, things really change. You know, you make friends online, opposed to being outdoors quicker than being outdoors, to be honest. And asking questions, sometimes people might not give you the full answer, or they might just, you know, just touch the surface, as I like to say. But for us, we are highly invested.
You mentioned earlier agency versus not an agency. I definitely
we're not an agency nor a school. Like, we're like a combination of both. Because it's like we're a combination of both.
Yeah. I love talking about what we are. So this is a new niche, right? This is a new niche. This is the future. This isn't anything like we've seen before. I mean, yeah, we practice the same things like agencies, mother agencies, and management companies. However, we are everything but that. Okay, so in agencies, you have an agent, right? You have a manager, probably, but it's an agency. So you have an agent, they book you jobs, they get a percentage, you get a percentage, that's it. There's no coming into the office unless you're like in Wilhelmina or, you know, Ford Models or something, you know. There's no coming into the office. There's no relationship. There's no, hey, Shondell, I had a really bad day today. This photographer, X, Y, and Z. Or, you know, I was kind of going through a panic attack. I didn't know what was happening. You know, I kind of forgot everything I learned in class, or I lost my wallet. You know, there's no connection, because it's a business. Business is fast. There's a lot of models to cover. There's a lot of ground to cover. This is a very busy industry. And for some of the big boys like Wilhelmina and Ford, right, I can only imagine how major that is, because we are extremely busy. All right. And we are just a year in. So for me, Next is the future. We are not a cookie cutter brand or company. We are tailored to help people maximize their full potential. And it's tailored to each person. These women that we represent right now are multifaceted women. You know, they're counselors, they're assistant dental clerks, they are teachers. They do a lot, you know, they're singers, they're makeup artists, they're beauty technicians. So there's a lot of different branding that's involved. Everybody is completely different. So unlike some of our other competitors that are also in, you know, schools and things like that, the Barbizons, the One Source Talents, John Robert Powers, you know, we're not giving you information that you'll say, hey, I know how to apply eyeshadow, not to discredit those companies, but it's to say, I feel like I've gained something. I know how to handle things that I'm dealing with every single day. I know how to negotiate on rates. I know what an invoice is, how to read invoices, how to make an invoice. We're creating bosses. We're creating people. The new model is aware of what's going on in the industry. It's no longer a secret, because I'm telling them, right? It's no longer a secret. We're informing them. We're letting them know what I spent 10 years going through, you know. And other models, you had to figure it out on your own. You know, let me help you get ahead, so that in the next 2 to 3 years, you have a solid foundation, a solid business that you can actually stand on and build on, you know?
That's why we, per se, as far as we train models to be a 360 model, rather than solely focusing on their specific genre, like meaning like as far as print modeling, as far as runway modeling, we try to mold you to do everything, as far as to be a brand ambassador, acting, as far as runway coaching. We try to mold you to be leaders, because as we said, this is a beginning company. This is a growing company that we just started. So those who we are bringing up, we are molding them to be leaders. Not all as far as will be a leader, but we are molding leaders. So basically, even if you are with us, you can fend for yourself without us. So within 3 to 6 months, there's no reason why you don't have a database as far as with photographers that you can work with, full with makeup artists. Your networking should be up to the roof, where basically at any moment that you go outside, whether you're with us or without us, you can expand your growth. That's what Next is about, being able to take that next step, pushing you, basically getting you to that next step, so you can take over at that moment or in the future, whenever you're ready. But that database is there.
Exactly. And just to chime in on that, he said, you know, we're teaching them to fend for themselves so that they can manage themselves, you know, so that they can do this on their own with or without us, right? And some people, like a lot of my colleagues or people that I discuss business with, whatever, you know, some people may say, that is the dumbest thing I have ever heard. You're going to tell someone everything you know. The number one rule of business is not to tell someone everything that you know. But what am I holding the information for? Am I holding it because of leverage? Am I holding it because there's going to be some point where business is not going to be overflowing anymore? No, business is always going to be overflowing, because if a person has pure intention to help someone succeed and maximize their full potential and want to see nothing less than that, right? Giving you the good, giving you the bad, and holding your hand along the way, okay? It's something else you're giving to someone. You're giving them the ability.
It's genuine.
Yeah, but you're giving them the ability to make decisions on their own, right or wrong, what to do. You know what I mean? Our contract is non-exclusive right now. So if you've gained and you're ready to say goodbye, I'm done, you know, that's perfectly fine, because I want you to feel like you can hold it down on your own, but we're always here for you.
And we also have PCDs basically on an every month basis.
Personal career development.
Personal career developments, where we sit down, we talk, and basically we establish any problems, anything that's going on. So if you have a problem that you've been holding, yes, you can call us anytime. But if it's really been severe and you want to, and it's like, all right, it's leading up to it, on that PCD, that's when we go over it. That's when it's like, all right, how are you? What's everything going on? How have your shoots been? Do you feel you've been booked enough? What's going on? How are you? How is your month?
It's our only way to monitor success, you know? So we check in, you know, we check in. The months are very busy. We do have our lines open 24/7 for our models to contact us, which they will all say, because we are very hands-on again. But again, it's very busy during the month. So when we meet once a month and say, listen, tell me the pros and cons. What needs to be changed? Did we meet our goals this month? Is there something that we need to do differently? Is that contract revised that we were working on forever? Like, you know, like whatever it is, that is how we measure success. We see if we're getting from point A to point B to point C, opposed to just moving blindly and just saying, oh, we booked a gig this month. But where did we come from the beginning? You know, where's the growth?
All models have basically a month schedule. So we pre-schedule everything as far as like, so you know what you're doing for the upcoming days, the upcoming weeks, etc. So as someone does book you, as somebody does you, the model would fill that out. So we are all basically on one page.
Yeah, our calendar system is pretty impressive, only because it's something so basic and simple. And it is a ton of work. It's really, really easier said than done, because we do manage over 45 models nationwide.
I be throwing so much to her, like, yo, please, I need you to do this. And she's like, no, I'm sorry, I got to do this now. I'm like,
yeah, it's a lot of work. But I feel like, you know, everyone's busy, like I said, multifaceted woman. Everyone is doing something. They're active. This team is very active. Everyone on this team is highly invested in success. So for me, when scheduling models, because, you know, we have in-house photo shoots. So we work with photographers domestically, so that they can keep their content up. Because the first thing I say is, listen, I understand everyone's trying to be a model, and we are models here. But the first thing is, you got to be able to keep up with the competition. And the competition is what? The Instagram, the internet. That is people's new ID. Whether you believe it or not, whether people see it yet or not, Instagram is your new ID, especially for young professionals, millennials, to be, you know, exact. Clients wants to see your Instagram first and foremost.
That's your resume now.
That's your resume.
I was just going to use that same word, resume.
Pretty much now, once you give your phone, somebody says your work, let me see your Instagram. Let me see your followers. Let me see exactly
if
how
you're
much
networking with someone, they're going to ask for your
Let me see
your
whole work. So it's like, oh man. So now it's like we really strategically make sure that each of our models, as far as managing
have
their
content.
account, have content.
Yeah.
And it's being displayed appropriately, because I see so many. I remember before I even started this company, I would say, oh my gosh, she's in the same place she was like 5 years ago. You ever seen someone, and that's not to say that because you can't read a book by its cover. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is image, digital image. It's so very important for this very reason, right? People are going to look at your image and they're going to perceive what they see and make their assumptions based on what is there, right? So if you are an artist or a model per se, but you are still posting without any strategic aesthetic planning, you still don't know who your market is, you're still posting out of desperation instead of strategically posting, it's like you need to tap in, right? So it's a process. It's a process because Instagram is personal. It's personal. Whether it's business or not, it's still personal at some point. When someone makes an Instagram, they have ideas of what they want to post, who they want to be, what they want to be perceived as. Most times people get on Instagram and they say, look, when I say, let me see your Instagram, this is my Instagram, but I don't, this work that I got doesn't really represent who I am right now. I actually am more creative than what is being displayed here. And I'm like, well, why is that? That's where we're trying to fill the gap there. We're trying to fill the gap between folks that are trying to get to that next level, but can't get a chance because they're not being able to get signed with these agencies or management companies. The image, the Instagram is not doing enough. They don't have, it's like having a college degree and asking someone to hire you after just being 4 years in college or got your master's, and they're like, but you don't have any experience. Let me see what you did. And it's like, well, I just got out, I'm trying. And it's like, well, that's not good enough.
But that's why we only take aspiring models, meaning like somebody.
Nope, we don't only take aspiring models.
Only take aspiring models. Tell me why.
We have professional models on our team.
You're right, but they're aspiring.
That's not true.
Oh, no.
What's the difference?
Explain it.
What's the difference?
That doesn't make sense. Aspiring is someone who is aspiring to be something. They are with the hopes of becoming something. We are given the experience, right, to those that are aspiring, because we have baby models on the team, right? So people that have no lick of experience, right? Or maybe just a photo shoot or 2 photo shoots in. Okay, think of it as dating. You have 1 boyfriend, 2 boyfriends. You still kind of tiptoeing around. You don't know how to really have a boyfriend, right? So we're giving you that experience. We have professional models on deck.
Those that's professional that are still aspiring as far as to get to that next step as well.
Getting to the next step and being aspiring or being a working model is totally different. You can be a working model who has brands giving you their clothes to shoot in, which models we have, who has, that's not aspiring. That is a working model if you're getting paid for your work. You can monitor that success on your own. And it's good that you're catching this because we have battles all day long.
I was just going to say, let it, okay? For sure. Let it roll.
All day long.
It's really intense arguments. Okay?
Yeah.
This is the I'm going to continue to explain, and you can look it up. Go ahead.
I'm going.
We have professional models on this team. Professional models that have been premiered on Roku, Apple TV, people that have been in nationwide commercials, people that have been booked for photo shoots with designers who are really exclusive, people that are getting paid consistently for shoots. That is a professional model. A professional model is a model who is working, that is either getting money or measures her success by, the clothes or the clientele that she has. It's all about how you measure success. However, if you are aspiring, if we sign a model on that says, hi, in our DMs, hi, I want a model, I really want to break in. That is aspiring.
Suppose they're trying to break into another lane in modeling.
That is another lane in modeling, but that doesn't mean they're aspiring. They're working towards gaining more specialized knowledge in a different area of modeling. Thank you.
Let me ask you guys this question. This is part of the reason why I think it's so dope for me and important for me to have people on in different walks of life. This type of conversation we're having right now, and Amani, we chatted a little bit about this, like, listening to public speakers and other entrepreneurs and things like that. I listen to a lot of that content, and so now having a platform to be able to generate that content for others is extraordinary. And this is kind of what I set out to do 6 months ago when I said, all right, I want to start having people on these types of conversations where it's like, I'm learning, you guys are reinforcing your knowledge, but also having a platform of people to be able to share your network or your experiences with. And then my audience is learning too, whether they're, and we're going to get into this too, because, you know, I'm Next sounds to me like it's the umbrella. I'm Next modeling is a part of it, like we were talking about earlier. And there's other things that you guys are looking to represent with, which I'm going to talk about that next. But I wanted to ask you guys about this. Clearly, both of you guys are driven, talented, smart, and motivated people who are doing something incredible right now. Is this something that that you guys have had in your minds for like as long as you can remember, or is this something that sort of more recently you started realizing that this is a important part of your being that you want to bring to the forefront?
See, me, as far as from a childhood area, as far as from a childhood age, I've always thought as far as how can I be a millionaire? For me, I was always about money. Strategically planning as far as how can I sell this water bottle for $20 and have 50 people sell it for 50?
Mm-hmm.
How can I bring back revenue for me and my family? So I've always tried to take steps, get into that next level. Me and her has been together for
how long now? Since 2006. So you do the
2006.
Wow. I'll do the math. I'm a math guy. That's 14 years, going on 15.
We've been together since 2006. So I've always been that person as far as to try to generate money. So meaning like I dabble into a couple marketing things as far as just to try to tackle that. But I realized that there wasn't no money really into it as far as I needed my own product, my own thing to fall back on. So I followed my mother's route as far as what she basically tried to say to going into college. I got my BA, I got my bachelor's, etc. In business. I got my bachelor's in business, etc. Because I thought that was the route that was necessary for me to take. However, I feel like as far as my strategic planning, I feel it's limiting me going there. Like you said, you're a math guy, you're a math whiz. Currently right now I'm working in HR. I did the math, blah, blah, blah. Say if you get paid 80, 90,000, etc. Your breakdown after 30 years will only be about 200,000 if you're getting paid 3%. If your company is only matching your 3 to 6%, if your company is only matching 3 to 6%. So it's like, is that what I'm selling for? Is that what I'm working for? When I'm 50, 60, is that what I want to retire with?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's a whole bunch of thoughts that brought about as far as like the direction as far as to how and what we should do. As far as my wife, well, my future wife, she's always been in fashion, but I'll let her.
Let me tell you something. I have been a natural born hustler since I came out the womb. Okay. I've always been helping people, always inspiring people, always aspiring to help people be better, to level up. I wanted people to feel good like I felt good when, you know, I wanted to be things that I didn't have growing up. So when I was younger, you know, into fashion, doing a lot of different things. I was a singer as well. So into fashion, singing, dancing, doing all these things and succeeding in it. You know, I said, I need to be more involved. Like, you know, growing up in the projects, right, in the Bronx, it was a little limiting, but we had a lot of life here, you know, back then. And we were outside. There was a lot of different connecting. I sold teddy bears. I sold lip gloss and stuff, you know, so we can have fun and buy pizza on top of the lunch money my dad gave me, you know. And then from there, you know, being a leader in the church choir, then starting my own programs in schools, you know, on all the student governments in both middle school and high school, running everything. People were like, oh my gosh, she wants to do all these programs. We're going to have to fundraise all year. And then getting into modeling in high school, you know, it was fortunate enough for me, you know, I had a lot of friends and we didn't, you know, they didn't leave the block as much as I did. For me, I was like, you know what? I need to be a modeling more. I need to do more. And that required me to leave the Bronx. I had to go to Manhattan. I had to go to Brooklyn. And a lot of times I was coming home very, very late at night. But it was a lot of hardcore work. Back then, 2005, 2006, 2007, there was barely, we were still calling each other on payphones. Yeah. Like we had a Nokia back then. I think Nokias and Blackberries and then Sidekicks. But it was a lot of work that I had to do that a lot of people don't have to do right now. You know, they have to do the bare minimum online, digitally connecting with people. So for me, we started producing, we came together collectively, we started producing and managing models that I was associated with years ago, like 5-6 years ago. I met a really close friend designer of mine, Lee Grayhill, and she asked us to produce her New York Fashion Week show. She asked me to be in her New York Fashion Week show. I said, I'm sorry, I have to kindly decline. I no longer model. I'll produce your show for you. She said, are you kidding? We had a meeting. We all went. We locked it in. Ever since then, we produced all her shows. Ever since then to this day. What led up to I'm Next? I decided I wasn't going to model anymore. And I decided, you know, I'm tired of freelance modeling. My friend models, right? Why not make something bigger? We always wanted an empire. We always knew that we were going to be Beyonce and Jay-Z, right? So it was about what was the next step that we wanted to take. So we said, you know what, let's start a company. And we dabbled a little bit about the name. We had no idea what we were going to call it. And then we, you know, decided to call it I'm Next. We started out with classes. We met every Sunday, doing runway and like posing, and we were working with the photographers to shoot our models during the week, etc. We also had kids. This is post-pandemic, pre-pandemic. This is pre-pandemic.
Sports too.
We had sports, I'm Next Sports, we had tournaments, etc. But things started changing. Things started changing due to the pandemic. So we automatically went right online. We jumped on that like wildfire, because I knew that it was now or never, honestly, because we knew that people were holding online classes pre-pandemic, right? But everybody was tiptoeing around it. There was no urgency at that time. So instead of having my girls die out like dead roses, it was, we're getting on class. We are going to start doing these runway things. We're going to figure this out until we mastered it. And then we started the program, and then here we are.
That's amazing.
But that's why I understand as far.
Go ahead first, and then I'll ask. You go ahead first.
That's why I understand. That's why I was saying, as far as when you said it's like an umbrella, I'm Next, and I'm Next modeling is like an umbrella, because we have so many different lanes. Like, as I said, we bring in models, we bring in artists, we bring in basketball players, we bring in sports. No matter what you do, we have a lane for you. We basically get you to that next
Super
step.
resourceful.
That's why we have I'm Next Kids. That's why we have I'm Next Sports. I'm Next Media. We have I'm
Marketing.
Next Talent. I'm Next Marketing.
Hold that thought. One thing that I do want to just add on to what he just said, because I know you want to say something. Businesses, like our Instagram management is so beautiful. Because, for lack of a better word, because people that we run into, whether they're old business owner for party buses, whether they are a designer, whoever they are, they're trying to master Instagram. They're trying to master social media. So once we go ahead and say, hey, let me help you. Like, let me help you display your clothes right. Let me help you get into reels. Let me help you post the right content. Let me help you display your bio and send out your EPK right, or whatever it is, you know, let me help you with your image so people could take you more seriously. People want the personality. We're just so involved
with everything.
I cannot even stop talking.
With everything. It's kind of funny.
Nah, this is really, really dope stuff. So
I'm
let me ask
sorry,
this.
but like, you didn't even ask your questions.
Well, I'll say this about asking questions. I'll say that I have to lower the chair a little bit. I'll say that when conversations go like this, there's no, it's like I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm locked in, so I know that my audience is gonna be educated, entertained, and just they're gonna love what this is all about. So it doesn't. So no need to apologize. I appreciate the apology, but no need for that. It's going so incredibly well. I have like questions. I have questions that I have as someone who, as I was mentioning before, you know, being into music and taking my step into this sort of brand building thing, that really right around the same time you guys did, in January of 2020, and that's like when my first episode came out, actually, January 3rd of 2020, and right now, you know, the Instagram stuff. I'm gonna ask this question first to ask. So the people that you guys represent, is that the right wording to say that you guys represent?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the perfect wording.
Perfect. Okay. So I didn't want to say agency. I messed up earlier. I was like, Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
All right. So people you guys represent, do they have the? Do some of them do their manage their Instagram, and some of them have it managed by you, or do you guys manage everyone's Instagram?
So pretty much we leave things open. We like people to make their own decisions. I want to know what you want to do. Tell me what you want to do, right? I want to do what you want me to do. So pretty much what we do is we can offer a hybrid situation, right? Some girls are more Instagram savvy. So it's more like, hey, great job with your Instagram. Let's tighten up the bio. Or hey, let's rearrange those highlights and refurbish like what's been in there.
Let's work on your
let's
tags.
clean up those posts.
Gotcha.
We need to engage more, respond to more comments.
Are you posting reels? What is your content looking like? Is it just structured? Is it a structured
Why are
Instagram
you not
page?
posting?
Are you engaging with your crowd, with your audience?
Gotcha.
Yeah. So then it could be a hybrid situation where we're working together. I'm not very hands-on. You know, you might ask me something here and there. Or I'm very involved. I'm posting on your page. I am interacting in the comments. I am editing your bio, making sure that people know that you are active and this is very serious because you might be at work.
I wanted to know from a musician perspective, a producer, musician, artist, that type of person. You guys both have a background in fashion, modeling, that realm. So for the person who's looking to brand his or herself in that space and get their Instagram where it needs to be from a musical perspective, do you guys work directly like with that individual, or do you have someone on the team that has more experience or expertise in that specific field?
First thing first, we will look at what are you currently doing.
Okay.
Firstly, we'll look at everything that you're doing, and then we'll personally take on that. So meaning like,
all right, so artists. I have a special part in my heart for artists. Pretty much we do the same process with everyone. It's more so asking you questions that would really get you thinking. First thing is, what is your brand? Who are you as an artist? Are you still figuring this out? Most people probably are. But tell me who you are right now. You know, let me get in tune with you. I need to be in your perspective. I need to see things how you see things. So I'm able to articulate your brand and how we're going to strategize and get you where you need to be. So we work very hand in hand with them. We're very, very hands-on, like I mentioned before. And what happens is I'm looking at what you're currently doing. So how active you are in the field, if you're doing, you know, showcases, if you're still doing open mics, or if you are opening up for certain artists, like where you want to be. Also asking you your goals, you know, where do you want to be? Where do you see yourself? What are some of the things you want to get done? Then I'm looking at your competitors. I'm looking at your peers, people that are in your lane where you are right now, your caliber.
Market.
And I'm also looking at where you're trying to go and looking at the race, seeing what you need to do in order to get to that point. So are you singing online? Are you rapping online? Do people know that you do this, or are you just dropping your YouTube video that you just did on your Instagram expecting people to vibe with it? You know, it's more so you got to reach the world. It's more than just your friends and family. You have to do reels. You have to make sure your posts are clean, quality, and you got to give some personality. Personality sells. You let people vibe with you. You have to let people relate to you. You have to humanize your page. When people come to your page, they should instantly catch a vibe.
Also, see exactly who is coming to your page. See exactly which market is coming to your page. Sometimes people view and like, all right, I got this exact people, this exact genre of people who's coming out, as far as like, all right, I got a young crowd who looks at my music. I got an older crowd who looks at my music. You have to look exactly who is per se as far as following you.
And one thing that I say is, if you're not purposefully posting, if there's no purpose, if there's no mood, if those captions don't touch you, if everything has to be about where you are and what you're feeling, you know, you have to put that in your work. That's the only way it'll stick. And I tell people that, models, artists, everybody, if you are posting with intention, right? Or are you just posting anything? Like
every project has to have basically a mood board. basically a full plan as far as studio time, as far as branding, as far as promotion. What are you doing to get that song out of here? As far as for your album, as far as for your EP, what is everything that you're doing basically at this current moment? What is your plans for the next month?
When you have artists, some of our artists are out of New York, right? So some of them are in Atlanta, they might be in Cali. So for me, it's more so about, I'm not there with you. I need to make sure that you're handling business. And if how you are reacting to certain questions I'm asking you, if I say, hey, I need you to sing right now, let me hear that hook that you have. Did you get that mix done? Let's work on your set. Let's get those dance moves and that stage presence for your set on Zoom, right? And if you're telling me you don't want to do it, you still can't create content, that just shows me that you're not ready to stand with the competitor. You're not ready yet. You're not ready for it.
Push you more so as far as for open mics.
So
just
I'm
to
letting
break
you take
out
your
of that
time.
comfort zone.
And also you take your time. You know, I'm going to let you take your time. When you're ready, I'm here. It's 50-50. I go 50, we go 50%. You got to pull that extra 50% so we can make 100. If we're doing 80% of the work, this brand is going to fail because you're not in it. You are the brand. You have to deliver. And a lot of artists need to understand that they got to put that work in. It isn't about what you did in 2006 and recorded videos and covers. It's about what you're doing now. You can't be intimidated by the reels and the likes and the views that people are getting. You got to be able to get in the water in order to play with the game.
I gotta say this too. You guys may or may not realize this, and I'm gonna ask this question next, which is definitely on my mind. First of all, I had no idea that your business partner, that you guys were together, first off, which is dope until you mentioned it. I think that's incredible in its own right. I want to know what that experience is like, being together and also being
together. We need a show. We need a show. It's constant arguing, constant. I wouldn't say
as
arguing.
A matter of fact, I should have sent you clips
because we really don't argue. It's really strong debates.
Intense.
Like it's
very intense. It's very intense. I mean, I am as sharp as a knife. He will talk his way through literally anything in terms of breaking something down.
Yeah, because if she'll have her mind set on something like, nope, this is why. And I'm like, no, explain it. Explain exactly the exact.
And I'm like, I don't have to explain.
And I'm like, no,
I just explained.
I'm like, no, but you have to understand people. You have to extend.
I understand people. This is what happened. This is what we need to do. This is the next move.
But their response.
He goes, this is the next.
You got to think about their response. Meaning, like, you always have to understand their response. What is something going to come to you? We go back and forth.
Let me tell you what our life is like. We work
thing.
24/7 around the clock. Our life is business, straight business. When we go out, lifestyle, there's family. We do family stuff all the time, but we're very, very involved in business. Our life is formed around business. And we do have a child together as well. So it's very, very hard to balance a lot of different things going on. As he mentioned earlier,
he was just running in here.
He is leaving. He is in the process of leaving his job. I've already left my job a little over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I was in politics, and now I am full-fledged. Well, we have a team mindset. We're one mind, one unit.
Yeah.
We have a plan, and the plan is to continue and to keep on to the journey, to continuously level up, and to make sure that we're doing good business and we're doing business with integrity, no matter how sticky things get. Because this industry, fashion, music, entertainment, it's a very egotistical industry. It's very, very raw and uncut. And a lot of times people fail to realize a lot of the things that happen.
And that's why we come straight from a genuine standpoint, because that's why I said in the beginning, we're very family oriented. Because it's like, we don't bring everybody a part of our team, because it's like, if you come on our team, it's like, all right, we brought you a part of our family. So it's like, you can't come in on no negative vibe. You can't come in on that type of time.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, you can't come in on that type of time, because we're putting in so much energy basically for you. Basically, everything is for you. Like, we're trying to make sure that you're booked to your gigs, as far as all of your goals is made. All of your goals is handled and taken care of, as far as everything that you're trying to do, everything that you didn't think of, and everything that you will think of, and everything that you're currently thinking of. Like, everything, like, we're basically just trying to mold people and just trying to make sure that everybody's okay, and understand the industry. So that's one thing, a big thing. When people come in, some people that come in, they don't have an understanding as far as the industry, as far as what to wear, how to come to a casting, as far as how to read a casting, as far as your base rate play, as far as your rate, budget sheet, etc. No need to go into everything, but
right. So the question was, how was our life? You know, being partners, business partners. It's about business. We love each other so much. It does get extremely heated. A lot of 90% of our arguments are basically about business.
We have a reset. We have a reset situation. It's a reset situation.
It's like reset.
Like we gotta come in, like no matter, like it'll get so intense where basically we have. It's like we prayed about basically the word reset. Like just God, Father God, just give us the power as far as like within that word,
really
within
intense.
that word. Like for us to come to a balance as far as for a reset, like we both come to a balance where we can actually move on.
We're still in a relationship. We're still family. Okay. Even though I don't agree with that business deal you want to cut, I don't want to do that. You know, we need to extend this. So
it's just like reset.
It's a pleasure though. It's a lot of fun.
It's great.
Like,
we'll reset
we have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well. She'll be mad. Like, no, I don't want to reset right now. I'm like, no, give me kiss. Give me kiss right now. We gotta reset just so we can start over. Especially because we've been together for 13 years. So a lot of people ask us how we do it. You have to understand your spouse. You have to understand your partner. Because if you don't understand your partner within the changes that they make, because as a person, you grow and you change. So you have to learn to love that person as they grow, no matter what they change to. You have to learn how to understand. And you have to learn to understand and love that person. A crazy individual, but I love you. No.
all on record now, man. Yeah, I love that though. That's real talk though. That's I was thinking that ever since you mentioned you know that you guys are together much earlier in the conversation. I was like, you know, that must be it's like it's extreme both ends of the spectrum. Like when things are clicking and you guys like have successes or big wins, like that has to be so dope. And then like you mentioned, the being married and being together has its challenges without it incorporating with business, and now having that plus together can of course be, I mean, I think you guys probably knew that this was going to be something that you have to understand each other and work through and kind of build. And I think you're doing just a incredibly dope job, and it's inspiring. That's what it is. I think that the big thing I'm taking away is, again, I'll mention again where y'all started, when you started, and kind of where you're at now, and seeing seeing that level of quality amongst the people, the models that you guys are representing, it's very telling. You see it and you're like, oh, this is real deal. This is like, oh, I want that for myself because it looks so good. You know what I'm saying? And that's good. Yeah. That's infectious for sure. So you guys are like off and running, and what's going to be fun is, and I tell this to some of my guests as well, and we have the ability to do this now, 3 or 5 years from now, when you guys have a chance, and even when I have a chance to look at this episode and say, oh shoot, this is where we were, all of us, right? Where we were, and now like you're talking about I'm Next Kids, and you're talking about sports and music and all these different things, and I think that's very exciting to know that you're gonna have something to see where you were and how much tangible growth from this moment that you guys were able to.
We got plans for 2021.
We got plans for 2025.
I can't wait to see it.
We got so much plans for 2021.
So the together question is if you guys have a chance to put something up on a billboard somewhere. And I'm excited for this answer because you guys, this is going to be, I want to hear what's on your mind right now. You have a chance, put up something on a billboard anywhere you want. And I want to know, what is it going to say, or what is it going to have? Picture and or words.
Okay, you go first.
We answer it together. So how do you want us to answer it together?
So, well, you guys could deliberate, I suppose.
So
talk about it.
See, this one is too, bro. Okay. This one, like a billboard. So
yeah, for me,
where, location, don't know. That's a little depend. In this standpoint, see, are we in this current time, like at this moment?
If it was right now,
yeah, I would say
if it was right now,
and
it was a picture, I would definitely say and this is just my opinion,
together.
it would be Times Square, because that is the honcho. I know it's cliche because everybody got a billboard on Times Square these days, but guess what? It's still Times Square. Okay, this is still the #1 city in the motherfucking world. Okay, this is Times Square, right? So hold on, it'll be in Times Square and it'll be posted up for days, weeks, and it'll be the I'm Next symbol with the I'm Next Instagram under it, and it'll also say what? Create, evolve, advance.
See.
You're next.
See, me, I'm going straight to LA because I want to broaden our market. So I was going to say New York, but
I still want to take over.
But however, being that she said New York, I got to think to the next. What's the name? So we in LA.
All right, there you go.
I put in LA basically to expand our market. Now, as far as what it's going to say, I need it as far as with the woman pointing or straight back, as far as with the head forward, but looking a foot forward.
Don't look back and
look forward, but it's like your foot is forward.
But you're looking back.
But you're looking back. So it's like you're taking a step forward, but your eyes is looking back, basically stating I'm next. And then it's like, don't look back. You're not going that way. I would have it something like
I would still have the brand up there.
I would still, no, that's why I said I'm next, but I would have it like a quote on the side because basically you're taking that next step.
I like it. Yeah, it'll definitely just be the brand. We need all the publicity we can get.
Yeah.
Something about the brand, something that's impactful, that resonates with people, like you both mentioned, maybe some kind of quote or just a couple of words and a graphic to show that you guys mean business and that you're ready to and that's why you guys are going to succeed, is because everything that you guys have said so far in this conversation has been like the non-traditional business perspective, right? Which is to say that you care about the people that you're bringing on. You even went as far as to say, like, you're selective with the people that you're bringing on. It's not like, oh, okay, anybody is going to be a perfect
and
fit.
It isn't image selective.
Yeah.
It isn't image.
Yes.
Selective. It's selective.
Where are you putting in the work? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? And if not, you guys, exactly, you can help them
yourself
along the way. I really like that a lot. That's really inspiring, and I think it's a very powerful sentiment. Now we're talking about music. Both of you guys have a chance to go to a dream concert, and this concert is going to have 5 artists performing, living or dead. So 5 all-time artists, and you guys let me know who's going to be at each of your dream concerts. You can all do one at a time, or you can alternate, whatever you guys do.
Okay, so we couldn't go to a concert if it wasn't, like, if Michael Jackson wasn't there. So we gotta just
Mike gotta be there.
Mike gotta be
there.
It might be cliche, but come on, who doesn't want to see Shimon? So definitely Michael Jackson.
Of course.
If you want Mike, I gotta
be very careful.
I need Biggie.
Okay.
I need Biggie.
Big.
I need Biggie.
So Michael, Biggie.
I need Biggie.
Legend.
It's your turn.
For me, what do I want to see in concert? See, I hate answering questions like this because it's limiting. It's limiting my ability to be, okay, let me not go there in my philosophy.
I was like, well, damn. Yeah, I'm like, well, damn. This is my staple question right here.
I don't want to just pull classics. I want to pull people I want to hear.
As of right now, who do you want to hear?
As of right here, Drake gotta be there.
Okay.
Guys, you got Drake.
Drake gotta be there.
Okay. You gonna pull a Drake? You gonna pull a Drake? You gonna pull a Drake? I'm gonna end it up. My son Fab gotta be there. Fab gotta be there.
Go.
So okay, we have 4. We have to be very careful with the last
female
person.
Artist. It's not we. See. Are we going as far as to selling out the crowd? Are we?
No, he's just saying who we want to listen to.
You guys.
As far as who we want to listen to.
Yeah, who you want performing for you.
We already sold it out, Michael.
Nah, we sold it out. But I'm saying as far as like something out of maximize sell.
I like where your mind is at though.
Let me see. Female. We need female artists.
Me? No, I'm just kidding.
Female artists. We got all male artists. Let me see.
If I had to pick an artist.
We did all male, so now you got to go female.
Yeah.
One female. You got to go female.
If I had to pick an artist to see right now.
Would you see old Janet?
I'm not going to pick Janet only because I love Janet, but I want to be entertained now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be just as thrilled looking at. No, Janet would be really exciting, but I want to sing all the words to the songs.
Okay.
So maybe
Kalani?
No, we're not wasting our spot. I love Kalani, just
But
in case
you
I ever
said
become
who you
famous
wanna
and you see
hear.
this.
Yeah.
Okay, if I were to pick an artist that I want to see right now that is a female,
That's what
I'm in a real bossy mood.
Mm.
So I'm gonna pick Nicki Minaj.
You gonna pick Nicki?
All right.
Beyonce?
Yeah.
Oh, Beyonce to
Over
hear?
Beyonce.
All right. You're disagreeing with that, but that's okay. That's still
Yeah.
5 great artists.
He's the
She
queen, but
can't
I'm
get the
picking
le-
Nicki.
See,
I'm gonna
see,
be in the audience
And
like
I'm gonna pick Beyonce, and Beyonce just gonna cut Nick. Or let me not say that. We on the camera.
That's a nah. I'll be at.
We'll be in
We don't
4
know
months.
where we gonna be in the next couple of months.
I hear you. I hear you. I'll definitely be at that concert. Though. I like how y'all started off with Michael because you kind of like, man, what an experience that would have been to be able to have seen him, seen him perform live. Like he's a legend.
It's so powerful.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it is. He has been gone for years. Look how many lives he has impacted.
Yeah.
That is the type of presidential effect I want to have on others.
Yeah.
When I'm gone, like telling their kids, like, this would have never happened if I never stumbled upon that company I'm next.
You're my
You know
son
your
right now.
Theo and your auntie, that live in the mansion down the block. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's who
My
put
son right now loves Michael Jackson since a kid. Like he's
Wow.
dressed up as Michael Jackson. The little "This Is It" game.
Wow.
He mastered all the moves and all that.
Yeah.
So like he loved Michael Jackson from birth. That's why Mike Jackson. Like,
legendary, man. That's exactly what it is. I want to say this was very, very just incredible conversation. I just appreciate y'all both taking the time out. I'm glad I reached out to you. First of all, I mean, from where it all started, it's great knowing that there's so much to learn from different avenues. And there's a lot of intersection. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you guys just mentioned just now about brand building that was very informative for me and for my audience, who I know are kind of in a similar space, wanting to know best practices and things like that. So I want to give you guys an opportunity there's a lot of people involved with music, mostly, I guess, that follow my content. So I want you to, let them know where they could, find your information, where they can reach out to you guys on Instagram if they want to maybe consider looking at you guys for some of your services.
Absolutely. So first thing first, definitely follow I'm Next Modeling. That is like the headquarters at the moment. That's I'm Next Modeling on Instagram. You can follow I'm Next Talent. However, we don't use that page at the moment. So I'm Next Modeling. And you can also contact me as well because we do have a lot of DMs at I'm Next Modeling at The Real Amani Kroom. That's TheReal AHMANICROOM. Or email us, imnextmodeling@gmail.com. Our website will be dropping soon, hopefully on the new year, where we will have a beautiful tab for our future and potential new artists to sign.
Awesome.
Or inquire so that they can find out about some of the services that we offer.
Also, we're starting as far as I'm Next Sports again. We're getting that back up and running. So we're going to start taking submissions, etc. for that, start laying out more details for that. So if you want to follow that, you can follow at I'm Next Sports. As far as for kids, we're looking for that. As far as kids, musicians, etc. You can follow as far as for I'm Next Kids as well, because we are about to bring on like a little DJ, etc. There's a lot of things that we're cooking up. But you can also follow me at They Call Me Flex. That's They Call Me Flex. FLEX.
Yeah. They Call Me Flex. Love it. Got it. That's it. Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Yo, super dope. just, yeah, looking forward to getting this episode out to everyone so that they could be uplifted. And just thanks again, guys. Thanks again for hopping on. And we'll definitely
Thank
be
you.
Thank you.
definitely be
Thank
talking.
you.
Well, I
Yeah.
definitely just want to say one thing. Thank you again so much for reaching out to us and just letting us know that you were interested in interviewing us. Anybody that knows me knows that I love interviews because I like people to inquire and ask questions. I want people to know what we're doing and who we are and some of the things that we like, you know, so that people can get a chance to know who we are. So keep doing what you're doing as well. This is an amazing platform. I'm so glad we did it. The next time we do an interview, we'll probably be on a yacht sipping champagne somewhere. So
Sitting back.
I'll be there. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, let's do that.
Remember this episode?
There you go. There you
Right.
go. That sounds awesome. Thanks so much for the kind words. And yeah, onward and upward for both of our companies, guys. All right.
So wait. Before we leave, what's your goals? What's your goals?
Oh yeah, let's talk. Let's dish, man. I talk about this for another hour, shoot. You know. So my big thing right now is music. So I'm a math tutor. I have a tutoring business called KMET, Kevin's Mentor and Tutor Services. That kind of started about a year ago, prior to starting this whole music content creation field right now. But one of my biggest goals, just like for starters, is getting my instrumental music that I produced over the past several years, getting them heard by the right people and placed in cartoons or in a video game or in a show or movie. That's where my music is destined to be. I'll share a little story with you guys. I'll share a story. So I do a lot of live stream. I also play the piano. I do a lot of live streaming on Reddit. And yesterday I was doing a lot, and maybe this might be something that you guys, not maybe, I say definitely, actually, you guys might look up, and I'll be happy to talk to you guys about it a little bit more in detail if you guys are interested. But Reddit has a live streaming platform that lets you go live and in many different sort of topics, right? Mine is usually the Reddit sessions, which is like musicians, but there's ones for, you know, artists who go on there and paint and play some music while they're painting, and people just jump in and just watch them. There's ones people going for a walk at a random place across the world, and they're just like showing where it is that they're walking, and people are sending messages and all that stuff.
Wow.
My thing is music. So I'm sitting here playing music, and what's unbelievably fascinating, I think you guys will really appreciate this and understand the magnitude here, is at any given moment during this hour span of being live, sometimes you have 5 people that drop in, 10 people, 20 people that drop in. But on maybe 6 or 7 different occasions, I've had 4,000 random people across the world come into a live session that I'm playing the piano and taking requests and stuff like that. When I tell you that this kind of changed the game for me in terms of my music that I make, I absolutely love my music. I think my music is dope. I know that once it lands in the right hands, I know that people are looking for this type of thing, right? But what I didn't know is when I play it for friends, play it for my wife, play it for family, siblings, like maybe that music that I make, which is kind of niche, it's kind of not similar to what's like on the radio and stuff. Maybe that music is not a vibe, as my wife says, in terms of what she normally would listen to, which at a time I'm like, okay, maybe I need to change it up a little bit. But what's fascinating is when I have random people that are vibing with me and my personality and talking to them and stuff, and I'm like, hey guys, I want to play some music for you guys that I made. They're like, oh yeah, they're already kind of roped in, they're excited. And I'm playing, like literally yesterday, I'm playing songs for 4,000 people of songs that I made. And some of the comments, I'll tell you guys one of the comments that someone said, kind of half as a joke, maybe half serious. I don't know if this person was real or not, but I was playing a song called Siblings that I made. And I did like a nice little video montage of my brother and sister of us growing up, and I have that on YouTube and stuff. And it's a very sentimental song, and no lyrics, just the sound of it and everything. And someone said on the comment, and I just started laughing. I was like, that's pretty real. He said, my depression is cured. And I just felt like I knew where he was coming from with that. The song is impactful and uplifting, even though there's no lyrics. And that I'm like, yes, exactly. He felt where I was going with it. And so I say all that to say, like you guys are talking about leaving a legacy and having like that type of impact. I used to play a lot of video games growing up. Still play some here and there when I have time for it. But some of these games that I played back in the day, and even maybe not too long ago, have such amazing musical scores in them, to go along with whatever story-wise was happening in the game, that I listen to this stuff to this day, from I'm talking 20 years ago. I have playlists on my phone that I constantly listen to this stuff, and I feel like a call to action to like want to get my stuff heard, and hopefully like have a similar type of impact. Maybe not in every, in a broad amount of people, but maybe this amount of people. They're like, yo, I love this song. And I already realized that it's more than possible, because I've discovered that there are people who are feeling it the way that I thought they would, and now know that they are. And now it's a matter of getting it out there to people. That's why I love talking to people like you guys, because the deal is like having, you can tell I'm clearly passionate about this. So having this type of dialogue with someone who's not ambitious is not usually fruitful. It's not usually something that I leave that conversation feeling uplifted or like, yeah, that person catches my vibe. Most of the time it's like they're happy for me, but they can't really understand where I'm going and that type of thing. So
Yeah.
It's the ears.
That's right. That's exactly right. To have that talk with someone who's passionate about it. So the music is definitely a big piece. And now this sort of next thing, as I'm realizing along with the music, is like I love creating content. I love learning about how to film, how to make a visual that looks nice with the music that sounds nice, and kind of change someone's mood from what it is that I'm kind of relaying, or what it is that I'm presenting to them. And like that's kind of scratching the surface. I'm not sure exactly where that's going to go, but I know that making content and inspiring others, and then hopefully eventually getting to a point where I could, because this is the other thing, is that I absolutely love learning about this social media stuff and how to brand build. I love all that stuff as well. And anytime any friend or anyone reaches out to me, they see what I'm doing, they see that things are kind of moving in a pretty, dope direction. I love having those conversations with people too. I like helping out with that. And so similar to what you guys are talking about, similar to what you're saying, like that could be part of something of an offering under my, KMAT's umbrella eventually, where it's right now strictly math tutoring, then it turned to piano lessons, which I'm doing now. But now, brand building and these other things that I'm learning and I enjoy talking about, it's definitely where
I keep moving.
Bro, just like you're saying, that's why I'm smiling when you're saying that. It's I could relate to how y'all are feeling, and I could and it's not always, people don't always want to hear, this person's being boastful or too overconfident or whatever the case is. But if you guys know what it is, like where y'all were and where you are now. So there's no reason to think that wherever you plan to go, there's no reason to not think that you're going to be able to get there. And I don't have to say it to y'all. You guys already know that. But that's kind of what's all.
The thing that I respect, as far as you said, as far as learning, me too, that I'm a big learner. Yeah. Meaning like within any conversation that I have, I feel that it's always a lesson within every sentence, with every word. It's just all about how you take it, how you accept that information that's basically coming to you. So it's like I really respect that. Within this conversation, I've learned as well a lot. Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I really respect this conversation. This conversation was actually great as far as between all three of us. Great. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm right there with you guys, and we're gonna talk about some more, like I see like exciting sort of collaborations. I think that my audience, and I think that your audience and clients and people that are looking to kind of get into that space, what I'm seeing is that there's an overlap there, and that's exciting to me. So I think that's one thing that we definitely want to explore, if you guys are interested into 2021. Definitely. And then absolutely. And then in addition to that, from the music front, I'm constantly thinking of like where you guys are right now, and where we all expect you guys to get to as the years and months kind of go on. I want to be involved with it in some way from the music perspective as well. And I'll come right out and just say that deliberately, because that's like, you have to kind of speak it to existence, say what you're after, share it, like be like intentional about it. And that's exactly what this is.
So, I respect it.
Yeah,
you got me playing. You should never said that. You got me planning.
bro,
You got
man.
me thinking. You got me thinking.
Let's definitely work.
You
Let's
started my
definitely work.
thinking process.
I love it, man. Yeah, for sure, for sure. You guys are awesome. This is about to be dope. I'm glad you asked the question too, because I didn't really go too much into that, and I'm glad that you asked it because it kind of needed to be said in this context too, because we're kind of on the same same wavelength when it comes to that.
Of course. That's why I felt that. I was like, all right, I gotta hear your goals, man. I gotta hear your goals.
I
I respect it because people sometimes say some goals are outreachable. All of your goals, it seems as if that they're it's all about your work ethic that can make that actually come to fruition. Yeah. Meaning, like, I see that what I'm currently seeing as far as the vibe that I'm getting from you is that your work ethic is there, your passion is there. Meaning, like, you're taking those, you just got to keep going. You just got to keep going. That finish line, that goal is there. You just got to keep running towards it. You keep running.
And who's to say that the finish line isn't the path?
See, everybody always asks me, when are you going to retire? I don't know. I like doing what I'm doing. Like, I love, for me, my passion is finding different ways to make money and as well as help people at the same exact time.
That's it. This is about to be dope. I'm excited for 2021. And I'm like I said earlier, for maybe the third time, I'm glad I reached out, and I'm glad that you brought your business partner on as well, because I think that was sort of key. It was different. It was a different vibe having two guests together, and it was really, really a good conversation, and I appreciate it.
Yeah,
it was great. Great.
Y'all have
I'm
gonna
come back to you next time in about like a month or two. I'm gonna come to you like, yo, what's up with those goals? How your goals going, bro?
Yo, man, please do, man. Hold me accountable. Definitely hit me up, and let's have maybe the next conversation won't be on for a show, but we can just kind of talk about. We can brainstorm and talk about ways that we could help each other. Because I think that, like, to your point, making money and helping others. The other aspect, that I'm realizing is, like, whenever there's, like, what we're doing right now, whenever there's an opportunity to really do something where everyone is winning, you guys are winning, I'm winning, and then all of our audiences, are going to be winning as well. Like, in terms of being educated, that's the type of stuff that I'm interested in exploring.
But don't think I do everything. I know that may have sound crazy. I don't think I do everything for money. No, that's not for me, because I turned down a lot of gigs as far as for money.
This is that modeling.
This is not it. This is not it. Mm-hmm. That's not it. So it's more so passion that comes for it, but it's
moving smartly.
Yeah.
Turning opportunity into monetary value.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for your time. I know you've been trying to end this interview for like ever.
I've been trying to give the closing for a good 20 minutes.
Nah, it's all good, guys. Yo, it's definitely been a pleasure, and we'll definitely be talking soon. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Y'all take care.
Bye.
Bye.